What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about TOSHI today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 9th day of July. Here we are, alive and well in TOSHI world, sitting at about 305. I remember whenever that was discouraging. Now it's kind of encouraging. Now we're like I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for this thing to move up, man. I think it will soon. Something to keep in mind here, we might be in the middle of pattern development. We might be in the midst of a inverse head and shoulders pattern here. You can see the left shoulder's formed rather well. The head here, and if we're looking at the volume, is it appropriate? I feel like it's appropriate. Yeah, it looks good enough. It's very possible then that we see a move up to about, and if we're looking at this here real quick, hold on, let's see, where's this low in regards to there? So it's a slightly higher low. In that case, maybe we get a slightly higher high. Right? 30646, we're at 305. Maybe it's not an inverse head and shoulders. It's just a downward sloping channel. We've broken out of it, back tested, and now we're ready to run. Who knows? But I would think at least then that we would see prices above 30, let's say 3065, because again, slightly higher low here than this low. If it was a perfect head and shoulders pattern, which is actually a little bit uncommon compared to these slanted head and shoulders patterns, you'd expect it to touch that, and then we'd touch this. But the fact that you're up a little bit might imply that you go up a little bit more, maybe even at like 3068, 3067, something around there. So a slightly higher high would be anticipated. And then you probably find turbulence there, right? We consolidated here from May 30th to June 10th, so for about 10 days. We've been here now consolidating for about 5 days, so another 5 days from now, sometime next week, we should be breaking out. That's probably what's going to happen there, guys. I would expect that we get a move up here by the end of this week. We're probably up in this area, and then we'll consolidate over the weekend, and then next week we will break out and see this inverse head and shoulders pattern exact itself. If it is an inverse head and shoulders pattern, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but let's pretend it is. If it is, the measure move would effectively be here. It would take us all the way up to about 2011666. And I doubt that we stop there. I actually very much doubt that we stop there. If we're looking at this from an overall high here to an overall low here, right? 1272, 1618, even prices above that. Wouldn't be surprised in the least if that was to happen, especially because here you've got this nice, like, I'm not gonna draw it, but you can see this like W pattern. Typically, when you get above that central point in a W pattern, even if it's slanted like this, you really kick up the beat a little bit. You start to put on the burners, and I would think that not only do we see 0018 by the end of this month, but we could even see higher prices than that by the end of this month, you guys. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we were at new all-time highs, or at least around there by the end of this month. Let's look at this on a 1 hour time frame. We'll see if any of that's true, or if we see some bearish signals that might suggest I'm wrong. Okay, let's look at this. We got some volume coming in. A little bit of volume coming in on the way up. On Coinbase, we do have a gap, so keep in mind, I feel like gaps on Coinbase do fill. We had a little gap here. You came down and you filled it really quickly, and then you move back up. Do we have any gaps to the downside here? I don't. They all look like they get filled, man. Coinbase is pretty good about filling its gaps. They don't happen often. Here's a gap. It stayed open for a while, but then we filled it inevitably down there. Do we have any gaps to the upside? Wouldn't that be nice? Let's see. Hold on. Let's run with this and see. I like to do this and go back in time. Let's see. I don't know if you guys could hear all that. That was the movie. My daughter's watching Moana, or maybe that was the credits to it. But man, let's see. I don't see any gaps. I'm just looking, just out of curiosity, no. And you probably wouldn't. You probably wouldn't in these higher times of volume, right? Back in the exciting times. You'd have these gaps here in these lower times of volume, less liquidity, boring times. So with that in mind, 305 here, we might be getting a little bit of a detail that we find some support around 30498, right? 1 hour time frame. Maybe the full moon tomorrow has a bearish effect on us. We come down. We've got a nice higher low kind of trajectory here. A little blemish there. That's possible. Right, we could come down and still be neutral and be reserved in this. I think that we're pointed upwards, though, and I think we look good overall. I'm not concerned about the price, and the volume speaks to that as well, right? We're not moving down with volume. We are moving up with volume. That's good to see. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here, the 4 hour RSI, bouncing off the 40 area, looking like you want to get overbought. I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. You bounced here. You bounced here. You bounced here. You got overbought twice. You didn't get oversold any of those times. You're going up, man. Yeah, you're going up. 4 hour time frame doesn't mean you're going up today, but maybe in the next 5 days, three to 5 days, something like that, right? you should be at prices that are, if you're getting overbought, you should be breaking out of this range here, I would think, right? So probably, yeah, up to that, up to wherever that left shoulder high would be, right? 30s, what was it? 3065, 3068, somewhere in that area, right? Yeah, that's probably going to happen, I would guess, by the end of this week. I would think so. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, you're having a pump in. Man, and a lot of these cryptos look like they're going to have a pump incoming. Bitcoin, a little shakeout beforehand, right? Pile on the shorts, clear out the longs, and now we're just moving up meticulously. Look at how dramatic we move down. These kind of movements I've noticed, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but these kind of movements are better, right? These quick movements don't last, but these meticulous ones do. And they persist, and they persist. Then you get quick, and then that's whenever you drop down, right? Same thing to the downside. Quick movements, they don't last. But this meticulous stuff, because every time you're moving up like this, you're even getting a little bit of a wick. You're like, okay, here's where it's going to find resistance. Here's where it's going to go down. Here's where you're getting these degens to just go short at every step of the way. They're shorting this thing all the way up. I'd pull up the liquidation map, but I've discovered that actually does not help. I feel like I've actually had I've been doing good trading, but not using the liquidation map. Whenever I use that liquidation map, I will hold off on selling at an area that I would have sold if I just listened to the TA. I hold off on buying at an area that I would have bought if I just listened to the TA. So I'm not going to be using those liquidation maps, man. I think that they do more harm than good. I mean, it's interesting, it's good to see, and it's good to check in, but when applying it to your TA, I don't like it. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if we're piling on shorts as we're moving up higher. I don't need the map to tell me that because we're moving up rather methodically. And with that, when Bitcoin breaks out, whenever we get above 110K, guys, TOSHI's going to break out. The rest of the market's going to break out. I think today, Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, the next day, Friday, I think between now and Friday, we got some good stuff coming our way. So get it while it's hot. Get it while it's cold. Buy. And don't be surprised, right? I'm talking about going here to form like a kind of inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? The left shoulder, the right shoulder, whatever. Don't be surprised if we just break through because, you know, we could. We absolutely could. We did have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here. It doesn't have to happen just because you've seen it before doesn't mean that you have to do it again. Don't count on the fact that you'll find resistance at 3065 to 3068. Don't count on that because you might just skyrocket right through it. I mean, here on a daily time frame from this same price, 3 days later, we were all the way up at 3 zeros, basically at 201. By the end of this week, we could be up there as well, if not higher. It's very, very possible, especially because we've been suppressed for so long. We could absolutely let loose the goose and let that goose fly. I think we will soon enough. We're going to sing some Goose Fraba. Let's see. Goose Fraba. Mexi. Looking here. What do we want to do? High to low? 2272 down to the 0.5. Interesting, kind of weird, but I like it. You are showing respect on this fib. You're going to go above the 1618, so where's your next stopping point? Well, it's probably not going to be here. It's probably not going to be here. It will probably be at least here. But being that you hit the 2272, the 2618 is a little, let's say, softened. It's a little softer now. So you actually might go right into this money zone here. 0046 to 00618. Oh, that's so perfect. I don't know, man. I'm thinking you go a little bit above the money zone here, the 3113. I think you go a little bit above there, and you'll probably see 007, if not 0069, just above that 1414. I doubt you stop here. I really do doubt that you stop here. But at a bare minimum, we're looking for that 0046. At the maximum, we're looking for about 1 cent, maybe even just above there. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Daily RSI, 3-day RSI, weekly RSI, they're all primed and ready, man. Yeah, you're going up higher. But again, don't be surprised if you move down a little bit, just a little bit. It's not anything to be scared of. Oh, we don't have it on MEXC, that's right. Or maybe we do. I wonder if we do actually have it on MEXC. Let's see here. Is there a gap? There's a little gap there on MEXC too. We might go down just below 0005, and that's okay. And then we'll move up. Little volatility never hurt anybody, right? It's like this. This wick might have been fun while it was there, but now you don't even care. It's not even a big thing. It might be scary while it's there, but you won't even care. Like, blink, and it'll go right by. All right, I'm rambling at this point. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.